She's Ronda frickin' Rousey. She's an Olympic medalist, a UFC champion. And this Sunday at WrestleMania, she's gonna make you tap out.
Ronda, just remember that you chose this path. This is all on you, okay? You are going to lose at WrestleMania. In the record books, your very first match in WWE is going to be a loss to me. And we all know, the world knows, how you handle losses.
How you do that there? The remix. How you do that there? New Orleans, Baton Rouge. How you do that there? Lafayette, Lake Charles. How you do that there? Shreveport, Mississippi. How you do that there? Alabama, Atlanta. How you do that there? Florida, Arkansas. How you do that there? They say, who that? Say they wanna do that. Run off the wheel and get your ass whipped blue black. My nigga, my nerve fresh off the curve. Jelly, Johnny preserve. Nothing but balls in my word. And a Mossberg pistol grip pump on my lap at all times. Whatever my niggas, cause young niggas still dying. Island Bob, huh? Nigga, what? Huh? Give a fuck, nigga, what? Full of that weed, landing like a poppy seed. A slanted and a chanting happy nigga named Young Bleed Carleon. In the jungle where the murder men mumble for months and days, tripping off blunts, we play hell of a high.
What's going on, everybody? It is finally here. We've reached the final stop in the road to the road to WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania week, and this is the A Show. This is Justin, of course, and I have my co-host Meelz here. Meelz, are you strapped in? Are you ready?
I am comfortable because I know this is going to be a long haul, so I'm very comfortable. I'm in my chair. I got a nice, comfortable chair, something very ergonomic, so I won't have to, I'm not going to be a sloucher or anything. Very good for my back because I know this is going to be a long haul. We are going to run through not only just the card for WrestleMania, but everything that's happened WrestleMania weekend. And this is pretty much going to be like the all-inclusive sort of podcast where you can figure out, is this thing worth my $9.99, or it's pretty much free at this point. So, whatever.
Yeah, they're pretty much like, please just join. We just want to see the number go over 2 million.
Pretty much, just join. And then
do you think the network number is going to go over 2 million this year? Last year, it just barely it hit like 1.9.
Nah.
Are you serious? This is a bigger card than last year, Meelz. I'll bet money with you on this that it'll go over 2 million this year.
Over 2 million?
Yeah.
All right, you're saying because of WrestleMania, or you're saying because of this year? Sometime this year, or just because of WrestleMania?
No, this weekend. They revealed a number on Monday.
I didn't see that number. I can't make these bets and these claims without doing my research. You're trying to bamboozle me right here. You're trying to New York heist me over here.
Wow, come on, bro! I thought you meant like for the weekend. This is for sure the biggest Mania card of all time.
Last number I saw was 1.6. That must have been like a year ago or something.
But this weekend last year it hit like 1.9.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, 1.95. There
you go. You think I'd be lying, bro?
I don't think I'd be lying, but why not? Why wouldn't it hit over 2 million?
Meelz extra cynical on this 24th episode of the A Show. I do want to, before we start this recap or preview of all of the shows going on this week, I want to say thanks to everyone who watched our Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns retrospective episde.
Now you can finally say watch and actually mean it. Because
oh my God, I really said it again?
Watch. You listen to it. You listen to us while watching Brock Lesnar.
Kind of works.
Roman Reigns. It kind of works. I'll give you a pass this time.
Thank you. It kind of works. Oh my gosh, did you see that Shawn Michaels cut his hair?
No, what happened? Wait a minute.
He cut his hair.
I gotta see this.
Finally cut his hair. The sexy boy is no more.
Dude, I gotta see this shit. Hold on.
Look at Russell Chat. Look at Russell Chat. He cut his hair.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. For WrestleMania weekend, this guy is like 1 million years old. Oh my God, I gotta see him now. Now I'm excited. I'm excited for this weekend. Shawn Michaels with the baldy.
He's not bald. He got the Mr. Belding cut.
Literally, yo, he looks a million times older. Like literally a million, like a full million.
It is official. Bro. He is not coming back.
No, it ain't nothing sexy about this, boy.
Oh my God, Shawn Michaels. That should be before Mania weekend, after Mania weekend.
Yo, we really cutting this man's ass. This guy's beloved, one of the best wrestlers of all time, but I will cut your ass if your haircut makes you look. They literally cut the back. And I was just like, bruh, you have no idea how haircuts work in 2000.
Oh, my God.
There's no way Triple H was like, there's no way he went to Finn's guy or whoever cuts all the NXT guys. I'm pretty sure it's the same dude.
The Dominican that be cutting Finn's hair.
Yeah, bruh, come on. There's no way he went. He would have got, oh, my God. Yo, you know what? This is a good way to start the podcast because I am crying in laughter looking at this old dude.
Jesus Christ!
Yo, his hair.
Wow! It looks like he went to go to the Dominican. No, he looks like he went to.
Oh my God! Yo, do something with the bald spot. What is wrong with you? Do something. You got so much hair. Like, what are you doing?
Oh man, with the value cuts to get this shit done. Oh man, he didn't even get an edge up with it.
Man, it's like $30 for a cut. Where? I'm $8 max, man.
That is not the showstopper, man. That is not the showstopper. I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what?
Let's get back to it. Where are we at? So yeah, thank everybody for listening to the show last week. Is one of our most popular shows that we've ever done. And you know, I hope that we're able to do this again, possibly by request in the next couple of weeks or months. But I really did enjoy that episode, the Brock and Roman retrospective episode. And thanks to everyone who had such a great positive reaction to it. And before we get into the Mania weekend proper, there are a lot of indie events going on. Of course, Wale Mania is going on tomorrow night at Club Republic in New Orleans. So make sure if you're in town, you go check that out. Wale will be performing. John Pollock and Wei Ting from Post Wrestling will be hosting the podcast panel. Mark Henry will be there. MVP will be there. Dave Meltzer will be there. There'll be so many people there. And, you know, that is a show family over there. Of course, shout out to Wale. That will be going on. You also have all types of other events, and you also have ROH Super Card of Honor, which is a card that some of our friends have affectionately called Mid Card of Honor.
I mean, I looked at the card. It looks like it's gonna be headlined by Cody versus Kenny Omega.
Yes.
There is I saw a Silas Young, the last real man versus Jay Lethal. Silas. Oh my God, I definitely have watched him wrestle. Don't take that for me not being a fan. Him versus Jay Lethal in a last man standing match.
Yeah, they've been feuding for a while.
No, sorry, Kenny King. Whoa, I got my black eyes messed up. You know what? I'm just gonna let you handle this.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are obviously a bunch of different, and we're not going to go through that card, but obviously I wanted to just talk about Kenny versus Cody. I think that is going to be a pretty good match. I mean, I don't know. I shudder to say great. You never know, but it's going to be very storyline heavy. I personally think that Cody will probably come out on top on that match. I'm not upset. This is on Saturday. It's going head to head with the show that we're about to talk about in a couple of seconds, which is NXT Takeover in New Orleans. But it seems to be that WWE is kind of like they're playing a tug of war with indies this weekend, where they actually have a tournament at WWE Access this weekend that is going on at the same time as a lot of these events, where you'll see people like Walter and Keith Lee from WWN and a bunch of other independent wrestlers that are going to be fighting for a chance to face the UK champion, the NXT North American champion, the day after they win the belt, the NXT Women's champion, and the NXT. That's at UK already? and the cruiserweight champion, I believe, at Access. So that's going to be absolutely huge.
They've monopolized everything wrestling. They've like essentially created their own indie event and it's like, oh, go to this and forget everything else that's going on that weekend. Because even if you like independent wrestling, we got that too. Like we got everything. So you know what? Shout out to WWE for thinking out the box and thinking big on everything.
Super, super dope opportunity for a lot of independent guys there. You have Cassius Ohno facing Walter and Keith Lee on Friday and Saturday, I believe, at these events, and I'm super excited, and I really think that Access is going to start to be like that, where you'll have independent guys coming in for a one shot or possibly a tryout, and I think that this is a huge opportunity for a lot of people to get their names known, and it's another way that WWE is kind of showing the indies like we see you.
Yeah. I mean, getting to the Access, you get to see a lot of the stars that they're sort of grooming for NXT or grooming for the main roster pretty early. I remember Charlotte was on Access, Bayley used to wrestle on Access. We used to see all of them sort of on Access. Hideo Itami suffered. Finn Balor suffered one of his first losses on an Access tournament. Like it's crazy. So it's definitely something you don't want to miss.
Right. And let's just go ahead and get right to it. We're going to be going over the card. If you watch SmackDown and Raw this week, just a reminder, we're not going to be talking about those shows this week. Literally nothing happened on any of them. So we're going to go right into the actual show. Let's start off with NXT TakeOver New Orleans. And this is a card that's been built, I would say, since January, more than anything. It's been built, from the Royal Rumble takeover, from Royal Rumble weekend, and you have a bunch of moving parts. I think that the TV leading to NXT has been it's been great, not super stellar, but it's been great storytelling for a couple of the programs. I think stuff like the women's title and the main title on the show, they haven't been built as strong as I wanted them to, but I don't think that that's a hindrance to that because they've built so many new and up and coming people to the ranks over the past couple months.
I think with so much people on the card, I think this is probably one of the biggest NXT takeover cards ever. Like this has got to be. With so many people on the card with just a 1 hour television show and trying to give everyone time, they're doing their best with it. I mean, we talked about this last week. We saw they go into the internet to continue the Gargano and Ciampa program. I think just the North American title match just sells itself. I don't even think they need to do that. We've seen the Dusty Rhodes Classic lead up to Mania. It's pretty good. They've been doing what they do. It's been, to me, it hasn't been like in demand must see.
Yeah,
but it's still solid television overall.
Yeah, it's been, and again, NXT is a very simple. And this isn't a bad thing. It's been very, straightforward as far as storytelling, and you see that with all of the main programs here. But we're going to run through and start off with the NXT Tag Title, which I think will open the show for the night. And it's going to be, and I'll just go ahead and spoil it because by the time you guys hear this, NXT will have aired already. It is going to be a 3-way match between Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong versus the Undisputed Era of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and the Authors of Pain. And this will be the finals because during NXT, a bunch of hubbub will happen, and it will cause Regal to determine the finals in the actual tag title match. This is a potential swan song for Authors of Pain, and it kind of closes the loop of the Undisputed Era's feuds with Authors of Pain and Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong, because I think that I really think that we're potentially seeing the last of Roderick Strong and the Authors of Pain in this match.
It's very much has potential. I mean, we've got along with this, with the breaking news, just to let everybody know, I believe Bobby Fish was injured over
weeks ago. This happened weeks ago, and they just ended it now.
Yeah, they just announced it now. Maybe they were hoping that he would be cleared for the show, but that's definitely not the case. But it's this triple threat match. It looks great. I mean, you have all these competitors that work hard. Who I'm looking forward to seeing is Pete Dunne and what he does on sort of, a non-UK main stage. Like what he does, what he can bring. Can he bring, just his presence to this NXT roster? So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I think it'll be an awesome match. I think people they will point to the Undisputed Era and the Authors of Pain match from the last Takeover as actually being a really solid match. I really enjoyed that match a lot as an opener, and it
was fair.
I really enjoy that match. I think you should go back and watch it. But I think during this match, it's no doubt about it. The Undisputed Era keeps these titles. I don't think they're ready for them to not have it. I think we're eventually going to see a nucleus of all of these guys having titles at one point, and it actually strengthens this team. And Adam Cole will have to potentially slow down his singles push to fill in for Bobby Fish as he is injured right now. And I think that's where he'll be slotted for the next couple of months.
I have no problem with that, man. I have no problem with it.
But so the next match that we have on the card is a huge match that a lot of people have been excited for, and we've seen a lot of hype for it. It is the NXT North American title ladder match. This is the inaugural match for this title. It is going to be Ricochet debuting on the show, as well as EC3, who is also debuting on the show, versus Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, Killian Dane, and Lars Sullivan. They just debuted this belt a couple of days ago, actually a day ago, online. Triple H did, and there's been a couple of mixed opinions on it. I know you don't really like the belt a lot.
No, I don't really like it. It kind of looks like they slapped Rand McNally on a fucking belt. Like, to me, I mean, it's a. You know what? I want to wait to see how it is. I want to see the HD photos. I want to see, how it looks up close. I want to see how it looks on the guy before I make a final opinion. But it just doesn't work for me. The red on gold, it works and then it doesn't from time to time. But I also said this about the Universal title, and now I love that fucking shit. So
yeah, I even if we can't, I like the belt. I like how it's leather. It looks leather bound and not red. But even if we don't agree on what it looks like, we can agree that I think the purpose of this title belt, finally giving NXT an established mid card, is a great idea.
100%. I feel like it's. I mean, to me, what would do best is also increasing the show a little bit more, and maybe they would have to increase tapings as well. But I think it's what everyone has been clamoring for a very long time. I think they want to still separate the UK division from anything else and things like that. So I think this North American title, while, I guess North America, cool. While it's being introduced, is much sorely needed. You have a lot of guys in the mid card, a lot of guys who can work their way up, and this is a perfect opportunity to usher in sort of a new era of NXT. You have these 6 amazing competitors in this match who can deliver, and I don't think we've had 6 amazing competitors in one match on NXT at once ever.
The War Games, we have more than that.
Well. I'm talking about everyone standing on their own. I'm not talking about teams or anything. I'm talking about just like, all these 6 guys could potentially be NXT title contenders in the next couple of months. All these guys have potential. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I do think that with the introduction of this belt, it also becomes with, more debuts, and that is the debut of EC3 and Ricochet. EC3 did show up on NXT prior to this, and Ricochet will be showing up he rather did show up on NXT this week. How do you feel about the handling of these 2 new superstars on NXT? I think EC3 knocked it out of the park during his debut.
I watched it a couple hours ago. I watched his debut a couple hours ago. I was thoroughly impressed. I like that they're sort of keeping the gimmick. I like that they're keeping everything alive. They pretty much just imported, EC3 from TNA, and I think it's a good idea because if it wasn't broke, really don't fix it. I think it's really a one-of-a-kind sort of character that's really core to just EC3. There's no way to really explain it. You would think he would be one of those guys, just a guy in a suit that's just angry and thinks low on people, but he's kind of an original character on its own. And in terms of Ricochet, I want to see where they go from here, because with Ricochet, I think it's going to be, I think by virtue of having him in a heavyweight division, it works, because typically the guys who do a lot of flips in athletics are kind of sequestered to the cruiserweight division. But I think I'll really just have to see how it goes, because I really think that it's going to be rare to give us something that we haven't really seen with this caliber of talent that we have on the roster right now. So I'm looking forward. I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to being impressed.
Yeah, they have a really cool video package with Ricochet on the beach, and he's doing some really like insane workouts. He does backflip burpees. I know you hate burpees, Meelz. He does.
I hate burpees. Oh my god. Well, of course he does.
But they've done some really cool introductions and debuts to certain guys. I think they see a lot in EC3. I know they see a lot in Ricochet, just the way that Triple H even introduced him on the North American title belt reveal. You know, his tagline is the one and only Ricochet. You know, it's a really cool tagline, and I really like his "I make this look good" tagline. He's gonna sell hella shirts with that. He's just got the look, and I think he always has. But as far as the match, we also have to take note that Adam Cole will be in this match as well, so he will be wrestling twice. So I do think this match will be it won't be the opener. It can't be. There's no possible way it can be the opener. But I do think that it happens a little bit later in the show. But I think it'll be an incredible match. But I have to get like this belt was tailor made for EC3.
You know what? If I had to pick someone to win this match, I would go with Velveteen Dream, man. I'm on the Velveteen Dream wave. He hasn't really won a major match, but I think it's kind of his time. To me, NXT has always been a thing where they kind of really give it to the people who deserve it, people who've been busting their ass, people who've been working hard, and I can't think of anyone who's worked harder over the last couple months than Velveteen Dream. Someone who has been given opportunity and has stepped up every time and has delivered amazing matches and has won the people over with his character. He made a character that probably wouldn't work, probably would be known as a comedy character in any other sort of venue, just be taken a little bit more seriously. So if I had to predict anything for this match, I might just predict Velveteen Dream.
I'm not mad at any winner of this match. I think they're all tremendous. I think Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan are sleepers, and I think they'll have a really huge showing during this match. This is Lars' first like real big gimmick match, and Adam Cole, of course, does super well with gimmick matches. But I think if he's going to be winning the tag title, he's not going to win it. So I'll go with EC3 or Velveteen Dream, and whoever comes out of it, I think that's Ricochet's feud this summer. Easily. The next match will be the NXT Women's Title match, which I have to say, not a lot of hype going into this. I tried to give it some time because I really did like their first match. I think you liked their first match too, Meelz. I
liked it, from a psychology standpoint.
That is going to be Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler Part 2. And this isn't even on like the run sheet. This is a hot take. Is Ember Moon's NXT title reign a bust?
Yes. And I'll say this, and I'll say it because sort of the attention and sort of the intrigue that has been given to the NXT title, I think it may be a bust compared to other reigns, because when we've had previous, it's Asuka's 500 plus day reign. Every sort of match was an event. Every match was like, will she lose it? Will she not? Or will she continue to go over? But every match was sort of, unique in its own right. Bayley, in a sense as well. Bayley, someone who everyone wanted to win it. Before that was Sasha. Before that was Charlotte. There's a heavy sort of lineage with this title that goes with it. I think with Ember Moon, because they're establishing so many new female talent at the same time, it's become sort of arduous to be able to do that. And she's defended her title. I mean, she's defended it multiple times, but on 2 takeovers against the same person. So it's kind of, now we're going to the territory where it's been this probably feud that probably should have lasted a few weeks is now lasting a few months, and it's really sort of not giving her any progress, not giving her any other sort of competition.
And again, like you just kind of brought up, the NXT Women's Division has kind of struggled to find its footing past Asuka. I think that even if it had gone to maybe a Peyton Royce or a Billie Kay, who are absent on this show, probably for obvious reasons, that it's just that they haven't really, after Asuka, they had no one really developed past Shayna Baszler, who was the runner-up of the Mae Young Classic, Ember Moon, obviously, who's the champion, and Kairi Sane, who again is not finding herself on NXT TakeOver for the second time this year. I'm
Kairi
struggling.
Sane a bust? Who knows, right?
Here's the thing. I can't say Kairi Sane is a bust because just off of the virtue that this is supposed to be Ember Moon carrying this division and this brand, and I think that the storyline and the writing and booking for the division just hasn't been strong enough. We haven't seen enough of Kairi to say she's a bust. But does Ember win this match? I do not think so. I think she's losing this match in New Orleans.
You know, it bothers me that Kairi Sane has sort of been on the roster since September and really hasn't had any, and she won the Mae Young Classic tournament, which is crazy, but she hasn't really had any sort of solo shine. To me, the follow-up feud from the Ember Moon Shayna Baszler match in the beginning was always Kairi Sane versus, Shayna Baszler, or a triple threat match or something along those lines. I think they could have used a little bit more to incorporate more of the women, but I think that just the rebuilding of the roster, they're building new entities, but at the same time, they're building these two strong entities at the cost of everyone else. And I think we have to really start going on with this new women's revolution. To me, there should be 2 women's matches on this card by now.
Yeah, me too. I 100% agree. There should be more with all the women that they have, with just Dakota Kai and Bianca Belair and Lacey Evans. Like, there should be a secondary feud, and it goes to what I've really been predicting this and really been saying this needs to happen. Like, I know that they're strict with this tapings and schedule, and they're strict with just having it at that hour time slot. NXT needs to move to 2 hours. I think NXT could do a lot more than what a SmackDown could do in 2 hours, in my opinion. Easily.
With all the development and everything, with the stars and everything, showcasing everybody, it could do a lot more.
So yeah, we both think that Ember's going to lose this match, and I don't think you would disagree with Kairi Sane being the one to come out of it and actually finally get her title shot.
Oh my God, who do you have winning this match?
I think Shayna's going to win, and I think Kairi's going to be next, the next up.
I think I'm probably going to go with Ember Moon again, just to be honest with you. I just feel like they're not ready to take it off of Ember Moon yet. To me, the time to take it off Ember Moon was Royal Rumble. I would have done that. I would have, to have it on her for now. I think they're just like, okay, we still need a sort of strong presence. Shayna Baszler is cool, but she's still not the superstar that I think that they want right now. But to me, I would have chosen her at the Royal Rumble simply just because of the shock factor, because you want to give this woman an impact when she walks in. But I feel like just the Shayna Baszler, the attention has been usurped by the Ronda Rousey attention and everything going around with that. So, we'll see what happens.
We shall see. The next match that we have is sort of an interesting conundrum here with the unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. It has been built very kind of virally throughout the past 2 months after Johnny Gargano was kayfabe fired from NXT after his match with Almas. You had them, Johnny showing up to Tommaso's house and Johnny basically like terrorizing Tommaso in much the same way that Tommaso terrorized him. But I actually kind of optioned or kind of spitballed an idea. What if this match goes on throughout the whole show? Like, what if it starts outside of the arena and ends up inside the arena and finally ends in a little small 15-minute match that kind of goes throughout the whole show?
I don't know how I would be with the stop and start in this and manage to keep the emotions of it all without it making seem more funny and making it and sort of cutting the weight of this match, because just truly and frankly, this match has been in the making since NXT Chicago. Early, probably around.
It was May. It was in May. It was a year ago.
May. It's been probably a year ago. I thought it was going to happen at NXT Brooklyn. I would have been excited because I was there. But I think just the weight and the emotion and just the intensity of everything in this match, these two going together, I think it would just be. It's just like, let's just have them throw it down. Like it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a street fight. It's going to be everything. And, I'm not totally against your idea, but I just feel like it would undercut the sort of intensity and the mood of it all.
Right. I don't know. Because I'm looking at NXT now, and it's looking like a really lengthy show. I think really the shortest match on this is probably going to be the women's title match. And I think one thing you're missing with what you're explaining is the brutality of everything. And I think you don't really get that brutality and those callbacks if you don't have them grab a ladder to call back to that revival match or grab, like I think that, there's a lot of really cool things they could do, because this has been a match and a feud that's taken place as much outside of the ring as it has inside of it. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to go crazy. Like I'm all for a long 20, 25 minute match. I just don't know within the constraints if that's what they're going to do. But I do have to pose one big question. No, actually, let's say, well, who do you think are going to win? Who do you think is going to win?
Johnny Gargano.
So if he wins, I don't know, because the actual stipulation is if Johnny loses, he's gone from NXT forever. So if he comes back, who's he? Do you have him and Tommaso on the same show?
Yeah, I think you continue this thing. You continue to build this rivalry. You have this one moment. I mean, let's look at the let's look at the most famous. One of the most famous unsanctioned matches that we've had of all time, and that was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. And sort of the comeback of Shawn Michaels and what he did, and sort of how the feud continued there, just from the pure aggression, the pure jealousy, the pure everything that he had against Shawn Michaels. And sort of you sort of impose that onto this feud, and you can have that these two can't even bother to exist on the same show. Then you maybe build to another match that's like the blow off the last call. But we try to have these two on the same show, and it just can't work. So maybe that's the case. I don't know how they move forward with the Tommaso Ciampa character if he's not currently embroiled in this Johnny Gargano thing.
You put him I have the perfect guy for him. If you're not going to put Ricochet against the guy who wins the North American title, you have him go against Ricochet, or you put him against Pete Dunne, or you put him against Roderick Strong. I think there's a bunch of people that Ricochet or that Tommaso can go after. I don't know how much more matchups that you haven't had with Johnny that's not Aleister Black or anybody, or Almas or anybody else that you could do on the show anymore. And plus Johnny's whole thing is it's better for him to chase than for him to win. But I also do want to see him get that feel good moment. But I think that's going to happen on the main roster. I think Johnny Gargano is losing this match.
Imagine he gets that feel good moment and it gets taken away in an instant. That's how I feel.
Like I think it's going to be something really screwy.
It would be the story of his career.
Yeah, I really think that gets snatched away from him, and I think we see Johnny on. Here's the thing. I don't see them putting Johnny on 205. I see them putting him on SmackDown at the very least. But then, like, do you have Johnny and Daniel Bryan on the same show? And it's like they're the same character. But if you put him on Raw, he's done. He's cooked on Raw.
I don't think they're ready to fully move him up to the main roster as of yet. I think he's been there a while. Don't get me wrong. He's been there for almost 2 years now. But I don't know if they're ready. I don't know if there's a position for him currently on the main roster, to me. Right. So I'm saying he stays in NXT.
Right. Do you think this closes the show? I think that's the biggest question here. Does this match close the show? I personally, NXT is very old school. The title match, or a title match, is usually always the last match on the show. Usually. I think that I don't think that they see this as bigger than the coronation of Black. Of Aleister Black, just going by how they promoted the show, period. But I think this is the second main event after the women's title match.
I agree. You know what? I've watched the feud between Andrade Cien Almas and Aleister Black, and it's gotten to this real intense level that I didn't actually think it could get to. I thought it was going to be standard. I'm the cool guy. You're the unstoppable object. I'm the shithole heel that can't get in the way and tries to take the easy way out. But you kick me into my it's gone actually the opposite way, where Cien Almas has really become the aggressor in all of this. I mean, he's laid out Aleister Black on an occasion or two. Like, he's really become the aggressor in this feud, and it's kind of amazing to see.
Yep. I really think that It's been a really, and let's just go ahead and go talk about the NXT title match, Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black. The build for this has been really, really good. I think that it's been one of the strongest feuds for Almas, just being, as you see him turn from tranquilo to actual aggressor. It's been a really cool character development for him. He's been cutting promos in English. It's showing that he's becoming unhinged, and I think he's scared and that's the psychology, is that he's scared of Aleister Black. He never wanted him to win that number one contender match, and he did. And I think that's a great storyline. And Zelina Vega, again, tremendous in her role as his manager. But what do you think that are we both wiling if we say that Aleister Black is going to win this? I think he's going to win this. I think he's winning this. They haven't played up the streak. That's why I think he's going to win. They haven't played it up yet. He's mentioned it, but they haven't played it up. But
he's lost before.
No, they say on one-on-one competition. He's clarified it in a video package that came out a couple of days ago. He's clarified it. One-on-one competition. He's undefeated.
I think this would. You know what? I think in terms of who wins and who loses, I think a win would do much more for Cien Almas than it would for Aleister Black. I think we get to Aleister Black eventually, but I think just a win for Cien Almas just works so much better, in my opinion, and just have him carry the title and have him be a strong. This solidifies him as a strong champion. He's not the guy who's facing underdogs or anything like that. This means that he is champion. He is NXT. He's not the transitional champion that people maybe thought that he was going to be.
I mean, he proved that. He proved that by beating Drew last year.
Yeah,
but one thing that was cool. One thing that was cool, but I mean, he wasn't an underdog either. But one thing and I will agree with you here. One thing that was cool about him beating Drew is that he beat Drew's single streak, and that's one thing I think they've missed with this, with the build to this, is that they haven't mentioned that he's been breaking streaks. He's been basically putting streaks to misery. Now, I don't think that Almas wins this, because I think he's done a phenomenal job as champion. He's gotten some of the best storylines over in NXT that they've done in the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. But I think that they want Aleister to carry this brand. And I think that Aleister is going to carry NXT as a traveling show past Mania. I think Andrade, they want him on the main roster. I think that was clear at the Royal Rumble.
Who's to say that, Aleister Black doesn't win it at a later point? I don't know if it has to be at this point.
Usually, I mean, a lot of people get coronated at Mania weekend. You don't normally see a lot of people returning at Mania. Shinsuke lost it last year, and that was kind of Bobby Roode's coronation, or that was their second match there. But I really think, and again, I'm going by what NXT, how they usually book things, and usually this is they usually coronate guys at Mania weekend. Now, again, this is a match where I'm not mad at if either of these guys win at all. But do you think that this match will top Gargano and Almas?
I think
that is my match of the year. That's my match of the year so far. Still,
no, just because. Wow, the emotions that are invested in the match and everything, I think it plays a factor. I think the experience of those two play a factor. I think them both managing to hit on all spots, the crowd, everything like that, I think that's all a factor. But I do think Gargano versus Almas would be very, very good. I think we're going to get a lot more out of Almas. I think we're going to get a lot more out of Almas than possibly anybody thinks we should.
Right. That's another question I want to pose. If this is Almas' final NXT match, and he does lose this, how would you rate his tenure during his 2 years in NXT? Almost 3.
I would say if this was the time that he lost it, I would say he probably did above average, but still not great. Because I think when you talk about his tenure and sort of the ups and downs he had, he's recovered, no doubt, but there's still the sort of the law of averages is sort of, he still had a pretty much a down sort of cycle in his career. It's really been the last 8 months or so that have been sort of the upturn for him and everything like that. But I think it would be fair. I would say his reign in NXT would be great if he won this match and lost it at a later time. I would say it was amazing. This guy was a champion that was truly a champion in all, sense of the name. And Aleister Black finds a way. You kind of humanize him a little bit, and you give him that sort of sympathy where the people want to go, people feel for Aleister Black at the time and then decide to get back behind him again once he builds himself up, and boom, wins the championship back. But I think it would be fair. What do you think?
I think that anyone who ever gets the first 5-star match from Meltzer since fucking Punk and Cena, I think anyone who gets that, literally, their reign is not, to me, above average. I think he's had a great revitalization of his character, and I think having his reign or his tenure in NXT. I mean, his tenure in NXT. I think if anyone does that and has a revitalization of a character that he has had, he, like, to me, almost is proof of a few things, that if you don't give up on a character, they will eventually rise to the top, and they never gave up on him. I think he's also proof that when the developmental aspect of NXT, he came in as Sombra, and everyone thought he was literally, it's almost like Hideo Itami. They thought that he was a blue chipper, that nothing could go wrong, and everything could go wrong that could go wrong did. He just wasn't over, and he basically flipped everything. His tenure is that of someone who literally rose from the ashes and literally became that one of a kind talent, and that talent that everyone wanted to see. I can't call anyone who has done that. No one has done that in NXT. No one. And to be to where he is right now, where he's headlining a show that last year he was just debuting on, that is, or not debuting, or a show where Aleister Black was debuting, and he was taking a loss, and he wasn't even a champion. He was like the opening match on the show. I gotta give you a great rating for that. He's had great matches. I mean, even if you don't look at the Gargano stuff, even the matches that he lost against Cassius Ohno, and fucking Roderick Strong, and a lot of other people on the roster, I think he's a great hand, and he's someone who stepped up to the plate when it was time, and he's carried that title, even if it was like a last minute decision for him to win it. He's had excellent matches, and he's had one of the best matches of the year so far. So if this was it for him, I think it was a net positive for me for Almas's reign here, his tenure here rather.
To me, Almas has always had the talent. Those 5-star matches he could have. To me, he's always had the talent. When he debuted to now, he's always had that talent. Those matches were always in him. But I'm just saying, the development. You're right. In the last year, the development of his character has truly made him great. But I can't ignore it. The stuff in the beginning that just wasn't that good. Just to be honest, the matches were good. It's just everything else wasn't. Everything wasn't clicking. I can't give him good all the way through. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a tough grader.
All right, so that was NXT TakeOver, and we're going to take a quick commercial break while we prepare to run through the WrestleMania 34 card from New Orleans. So give us 1 second. We'll be right back on the A Show.
Yo, it's my man MC, one half of the RSPM boys. Not only is it an exciting week for the A Show, TakeOver, Hall of Fame, and WrestleMania this Sunday, it's also the week of the inaugural NBA 2K League Draft. If you're as confused as the majority of my timeline was, we'll have all of that coverage for you and what it means for the NBA this Friday on RSPN with Jeff, Platinum Chanel Boy, Old News Boy, Thotty Jeff, whichever one he decides for this week, along with everything else that we find interesting in sports. So check us out, RSPN on RNC Radio this Friday and every Friday on the RNC Radio Network.
All right, we are back on the A Show. Meelz, it is WrestleMania time. It's WrestleMania time. We're going to go over this card. As a whole, what do you think about the build to WrestleMania 34? Just now that it's all over with and we have a chance to kind of have some perspective on everything. Do you think this build was better or worse than some of the ones in the past?
I think some of the matches have wonky builds. Especially a lot of the main matches have wonky builds, but I can't, dispute the fact that I'm excited for WrestleMania nonetheless. I don't think I've been this excited with the build for WrestleMania since like WrestleMania 30. where just everything was sort of clicking, or like a big one like WrestleMania 17 or like WrestleMania 19. Those things that were just like everything was hot. They have so many hot matches, so many great superstars. Everything is clicking. And the fact that I'm saying this about this WrestleMania, putting it into class with those like possibly the top 3 WrestleManias of all time, it makes me feel like this is going to be one of the best WrestleMania cards, one of the best WrestleMania matches. We're going to see something incredibly epic this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it, and as the days near, the statement still stands. Like on paper, this is literally potentially the greatest WrestleMania of all time, just on paper. I'm sorry that it's not fucking Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Hulk Hogan and shit like that on this card. This is better than that shit. Like, just the talent there is fucking incredible. Just from the undercard, I can't think of on paper maybe you could say the U.S. title match would be the weakest in-ring match on the show. Sure. But I think if you looked at what we got last year, like, come on, man, it's just night and day. I think we're finally seeing the fruits of the NXT roster and how, again, the developmental, I mentioned it with Andrade in the last segment, like that developmental system has really grown these stars. Over half of the roster, shit, more than that, literally almost the whole, roster is NXT people. All of the top guys are from NXT, and I think you got to tip your hat to Triple H for all the work he put in.
Easily, a lot of debuts on this. There's a lot of people who are going to be wrestling on WrestleMania for the first time, including we'll get to the card, but it's going to be a good WrestleMania. Absolutely.
Let's get to our rundown of the card, and I've split this from kickoff show to main show with all the titles. All of the titles will be represented on this show, of course. Let's start off with the kickoff show. It was just announced on Monday that the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal, and the Cruiserweight Tournament Final will be on the kickoff show. It's 2 hours with the last hour airing on USA before the actual show starts. Let's the Andre the Giant. Let's just start with both Battle Royals. I don't think we really give a shit. I can't even.
No, I can't say I do.
Andre the Giant is Sophie's choice. Same with the women's battle royal. Andre the Giant, whatever.
Dude, we should do a pool.
Yo, we should do a pool.
We should do a pool. Why not? This is fun. You know what? It'll make it more fun. Let's do a little WrestleMania Battle Royal pool, and let's just see who. I don't think we have to pick participants, but maybe.
Do we know the number? Is it 30? It can't be 30, right?
Ain't no way it's gonna be 30.
We kind of have to. I have to look this up. I don't because I think the women's is
Trish Stratus is not coming back again. Lita is not coming back. Miss Jacqueline is not going to be in this. The Giant Uterus Trophy Women's Battle Royal.
Oh, come on, man. When they showed it on Raw, honestly, it doesn't really look like a uterus anymore. When you see the actual...
But it looks like, come on. I mean...
It doesn't look like a uterus. Like, the actual trophy on Raw did not look like that.
They had to change it last minute. So I'll give them all the excuse in the world for it looking kind of shaky. But, it don't look great. I'll be honest with you. It don't look great to me. But shout out to all the women fighting for it. Shout out to them. It's not about me. It's about,
Problematic meals. It's got to be the women, huh? Problematic meals, though.
I'm looking at this trophy right now, man. It looks, you know what? Let me shut my mouth.
Yeah, please. I apologize to any woman that listens to the show. Actually, you know what? See, there you go. Why can't women? You know what? Never mind.
You know what? I didn't say they can. I'm just saying that I gotta look at the analytics and see how we're doing. Probably not good.
So we can't do a pool for the battle royals because it hasn't been determined yet. So we can't do a pool. I don't think either of us care. So yeah, good luck to all the participants in those matches. The Cruiserweight tournament final between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. I'm actually really excited about this match.
I am glad it's going to happen. A lot of hubbub about whether this should be on the main show or not.
Listen. They would get 5 minutes on the main show. They'll probably get at least 14. Like Neville. How long did Neville and Austin Aries get last year?
They got time. They got 15, 16 minutes on the pre-show last year. They got time.
I'm looking this up. They got 15:40 last year. You think they're getting that on the main show?
No.
Hell no.
But here's the thing. Here's my argument with it not being on the main show, because I definitely get it. Like, to me, matches aren't remembered on the kickoff show at all. And this is a very important Cruiserweight Championship match. To be honest, it should be given time on the main show, if I had to be honest with you, just because this is a very important match. The brand has gone without a champion for so long. It's been the revitalization of a brand. We're seeing something slowly grow. This could attract potential eyes to it. And you're going to get it on the USA Network, but everyone's tuned into the WWE Network to watch the show. Matches don't get remembered.
There are way more eyes on USA than there are on the WWE Network.
100%.
On cable?
100. I know. Don't get me wrong, 100%. There's going to be way more eyes viewing it on the USA Network, but don't get me wrong. When you talk about being immortalized, matches on the kickoff show don't get immortalized, bro. Like, we remember the Neville versus Austin Aries match, but who says we will remember that in 5 years when we talk about WrestleMania 33? Who says we will remember anything about this, by WrestleMania 34? Do you want to go on having one of the best WrestleMania cards of all time and not being remembered on it? That's a shame. So I think, no, don't get me wrong. I agree from the show's standard point of the production of the show that they're not going to get a lot of time on the main show. That doesn't mean to me that they don't deserve to be on the main show.
Listen, if they get 15 there, and the women don't get their 20.
Again, I'm 100% fine with the production of the show. I understand it's a show. Like, you're not going to have them enough time, but I'm just saying this again. Matches do not get remembered on a kickoff show. I can't tell. Besides probably the WLC match, you can't tell me. You can't pick a date and a time that you remembered a match on a kickoff show ever. You can't. You can't pick it out.
I'll remember you, but you know what? I'll remember this. I'll remember this match.
Okay,
I will remember this match because of what it is, and I've been watching 205 Live. Like, the hard sell that Drake Maverick had on 205 Live last night, like the hard sell that he gave was awesome. Like, he made me want to watch the show. He made me want to watch this match.
But I think, you know what? It is fine what it is. It is fine the way it is. I'm perfectly fine with this being on a show. I will enjoy the match. But I just think in the future, in terms of immortalizing this, I think people, I think Triple H, at least for his brand, should push a little bit harder,
I give him a year. This is 205's second year. Let him get a champion. This is a show that's been maligned by a lot of issues, and
bring back Neville.
I don't think he's coming back, but I don't think that it's going to be I really just don't think that this is that big of a deal. But it's not. But
I just see it from the standpoint. I'm happy for what Cedric and Mustafa Ali are doing, and regardless of wherever it's on the card, and you got to think at this time they knew it was going to be on the kickoff show. They didn't think it was going to be on the main card, but they're still, the time it's going to get and the investment that they make within it and what they're going to do is still going to be incredible.
Right. What do you think wins here? I think that let's go on a limb, and this might not be popular, but I think Mustafa Ali's winning.
I would go with Mustafa Ali. I'm perfectly fine with Mustafa Ali. I'm not really. I think he deserves it more than Cedric Alexander at this point, to be honest with you. But Cedric Alexander has been working his ass off.
Once again, it's just another match where I'm not mad at either. They've been busting their ass for the past couple months. They went through a bunch of bullshit that no one should go through. Just, it doesn't have to be said, but I'm emotional for the fact that, and I will support for the fact that they've been through so much and they've handled it with grace, and they're finally getting their opportunity. And hats off to them. Like, Mustafa said he hasn't even ever been on a pay-per-view before. This is his first pay-per-view match, and will be at WrestleMania. So dream come true for these guys. I'm super happy for them, and they deserve all the success.
Right. Even if they don't get a match, give them an awesome video package. You know what I'm saying? Give them something that make my heart pump. Like, give them that.
So Mustafa Ali, next cruiserweight champion. You heard it right here on the A show. Well, on the main show, we have the Raw Tag Team Title match. Braun Strowman and a mystery partner versus The Bar.
Strowman, man, come on.
It's not Brain.
It's Brain Strowman, baby. Come on.
He fucking revealed on the show that it wasn't him. They're saving that, and I'm very frightened because I think his tag partner is going to be the fucking Big Show.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
I think it's going to be the Big Show.
That would suck ass.
Do you think
we're gonna be so mad when we see Elias in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Like, what is he doing here?
Yeah, when it really should be him and Braun going against each other or teaming up.
We're all gonna be like, maybe he's wrestling twice, and then
Do you think
all white?
Do you think that? Who do you think is going to win here? I don't see Braun winning. I think it's going to be like there's going to be. Here's the thing: like on paper, this card is amazing, but I think that the finishes, as with all WrestleManias, are going to fucking piss a lot of people off. I think the Bar is going to win this.
If you have nothing for Braun, give him the belts. So you have something for Braun, and then the Bar can chase the belts. And who knows? Maybe AOP shows up and they beat Braun. Who knows? And his partner or whoever it is.
That's dope. That is actually, I didn't even think of that. The AOP could debut and be those big hitters. But wouldn't it be dope if they beat the Bar on their first day?
It would be. You know what? I don't know how dope it would be because I'm just kind of over the Bar. But I feel like Braun is going to win. I feel like if you want to continue any sort of attention on Braun without him being the main source of attention, or putting him against a Roman Reigns or a Finn Balor or something, you give him the belts and you buy your time a little bit longer until it's time to really unleash Braun back on the main event scene again.
Right. So next match will be the SmackDown Tag Titles. It's a triple threat match. The New Day versus the Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers. No stipulation here. I'm kind of surprised about that, but I strongly built match, and it's only taken a month for it to build. But you have two teams that are established with each other against two monsters, and you have a lot of ways this match could go with the New Day and the Usos teaming against the Bludgeon Brothers, or the Bludgeon Brothers just completely blowing through these guys. I say for the Usos first WrestleMania match, I think they win this match.
You know, I'm going to pick them winning this match as well, but I got to say that I'm very proud of Harper and Rowan getting to this point because they've been in the WWE. I mean, they haven't been as long as the Usos, and this is the Usos' first main event, main card match. But as long as they've been there, the supporting roles that they played the number of years, the number of matches they've simply just walked out with Bray Wyatt on and not really competed on this sort of main stage or the big stage. And they're finally getting their chance to sort of, show everything they got. I'm very, very happy for them. I'm happy for, the Usos being able to get to the main card once more for the first time in their career and really earning it and really being at the point of their career where they're in their peak prime and everything is clicking on all levels. I'm happy for the New Day. 2-3 years ago, they were being booed at WrestleMania. Now they're here, and now it's come sort of full circle, and now they're the veteran guards. They've been together for almost 4 years now. It's incredible. As to say who wins this, I'm just going with the Usos. The Usos are the guys right now. There's no one better. There's no one who, should be better. And you know what if AOP shows up and costs and takes the belts, Be ready for AOP on the main roster. I think that's really what it is.
I'm excited. I think that you definitely have to pay attention to the tag title picture on both shows, and whoever wins that shit on Sunday. I think it'll be a great match. I don't know how long it'll get, but I do think we both think that the Usos will come out on top. Let's get into the upper mid-card titles here with the United States Championship. It is a 4-way. There's going to see a theme in these lower card or lower title matches. A fatal 4-way between Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Rusev, and Jinder Mahal. I
open the show.
I think it'll open the show.
Open the show.
Hot. Cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Oh, that's funny. Listen, ain't nothing hotter than starting off with Randy Orton on the card, man. Randy Orton is just like You know what? Get me out there. Get me back. I'm trying to take a shower and just relax with my family. So, let's get this over with. Put me first. I don't care what Rude, Rusev, or Jinder says. I have the seniority.
Listen, I'm just gonna throw a Hail Mary. I'd say Rusev wins. I'm
saying Rusev wins, baby. I'm only here for Rusev. I'm not here for anybody else. I'm not here for anybody. But you know what? I think this will be, just to be completely serious, I think this will be a good match. I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, me too. I think adding Rusev added a lot to the match, a match that I normally probably wouldn't have given a shit about.
Yeah, and it gives people energy and people to invest in the match. They did this because no one seemed to give a shit. And now with Rusev in, people give a shit now. So
Rusev Mania. It starts on Sunday. Let's skip right past. You'll notice that as we in the lower card of WrestleMania, we don't really care about SmackDown, but as it gets higher, we'll start to care about those SmackDown matches more. Mm-hmm. But we have the Intercontinental Title Championship match. It is a 3-way match between Finn Balor, The Miz, and Seth Rollins. New father of The Miz. Did you get a chance to hear his commentary on Monday, which I thought was hard to hate the guy.
What, man? Listen, I've been on everything Miz Central I've been on this week. I'm so proud of The Miz. I feel like an uncle or a goddad or something along those lines. I'm so proud of him for everything that he's done since the real world to everything now and culminating and becoming a father and being in this WrestleMania event. I don't care who the fuck you think is going to win. I think The Miz is going to win. And I don't really mean that. I care who you think is going to win. I need to write these predictions down because I'll be forgetting on the show and I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess he won.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good match. I think if you give these guys 12 minutes, they'll tear the house down.
Yeah. They tore the house down on Monday. To me, that Finn Balor Seth Rollins match was their best match they ever had together.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that match. I don't know if it's better than the SummerSlam match because the Demon he just has the power to have 4-star matches. But I think they'll tear the house down. I really think that Seth Rollins is going to pin the Miz, and we'll get the proper Seth Rollins Finn Balor feud out of this with possibly a heel turn. But
Finn Balor.
I just can't see Finn taking that feud, man. Not that feud, the pin. I can't see him taking that.
Listen, he ain't the Demon, baby. Where's your Demon now?
You think he's going to come out with the Demon?
I think eventually. No, the WrestleMania.
At Mania? Yeah, at Mania.
No, not at this Mania.
Yeah, I to me, it's with the Miz's his record. It's not consecutive, so you don't need to have him win it at WrestleMania. He could win it back and break the record somewhere else. He's not exactly going to break the record at WrestleMania either. That's why I don't think that he's going to win at WrestleMania. But I think this is the match for Finn Balor, but I think Seth comes out of it. He's a Grand Slam champion, and I think he has that feel good moment. And I think you build a storyline with Finn Balor always coming up short on the big matches, and you have it there. But I think Seth Rollins wins this match.
I respect your opinion, but man, how could you hate The Miz after Tuesday winning the Mixed Match Challenge, baby? Rescue Dogs.
Oh yeah, that did happen as well. I didn't watch the Mixed Match Challenge, but congratulations to them damn dogs.
It was good. They had. Listen, Charlotte put The Miz in the figure 8. Listen, it was a good match. It was the best match I think they had on the Mixed Match Challenge thus far, maybe tying with the first round match with Shinsuke Natalya and Banks and Balor. But I think it was a really good match. Shout out to them damn dogs. I donated the Rescue Dogs. Listen, I gave the proof to Justin. I donated to them Rescue Dogs Rock. I said I would if Miz and Asuka won. They matched to hold it down. And you know what? I did my part. What about you, world?
I am not donating to those damn dogs.
So donate to something. Find a charity. Donate to something. It makes you feel better.
So speaking of those damn fucking dogs and the Mixed Match Challenge, we have 2 participants in the Mixed Match Challenge.
Wow, what a segue. Terrible.
two participants, two people who lost the mixed match challenge.
Oh, I thought you were talking about dogs.
No, no, I was not.
Don't mention dogs.
We're gonna get into the Raw Women's Title match, it's going to be Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Really great storyline. It started off kind of shaky, but it ended up being really, really strong toward the end there. And I think a lot of people want to see Nia finally get her hands on Alexa. This match, I'll just say this right now, this match does not need to go longer than 5 minutes. It should be a complete squash. And I think Nia Jax needs to win.
A minute and a half, man. You know what? I didn't like to sit down on Monday. I thought there was just, I thought there was something they could have done more to make you really want to see, Alexa Bliss get the shit rocked out of her. Because, Nia Jax does get her hand on Mickie James, but it's not quite, Alexa Bliss. But I'm excited to see what goes on in this match. If they choose to have Nia Jax lose in a competitive bout, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But if she just sits on her, I'm perfectly happy. I'm just, if Nia Jax sits on Alexa Bliss and just like, boom, I win the championship, I'm 100% happy.
Yeah, I am all for Nia winning this. I'm all for a Nia reign, and whoever comes in and after that, it's dope. I think that she's worked hard, and I remember just on this show, we've always said that it's just been that one thing that she just hasn't clicked with her as a character, and it's finally happened, and she's moving on all cylinders, and she's having really good matches, and it's getting a reaction from the crowd. Why not pull the trigger and see if, this would be a good look for the WWE, and I think it'd be a good look for just the women's division, just having such a great, awesome, dominant champion on both brands. And speaking of dominance, let's go to the SmackDown Women's Title match between Asuka and Charlotte Flair. I won't even say it's a build, and I can't even say it's like a rivalry. I think AJ, like if you compare this to AJ Nakamura, the rivalry really, that's more of a rivalry than this was. And it's kind of an interesting match. They've only ever, touched or had a physicality once, and that was in the mixed match challenge. And from what I hear, they barely even wrestled at all.
Yeah, they really, in terms of everything, they really just kind of, they laid it out. They gave a little taste, but they never really gave anything to sort of sink your teeth into.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the match, like, how do you think it's going to be paced? I think it's going to be a really interesting match between two people who use submissions a lot, a striker in Asuka and a big time kind of like high flyer, and at some points with Charlotte. What do you think? What do you think the match is going to look like?
I think it's going to, Charlotte is going to hit harder than we probably think that she has any right to do. I don't know if she does the backflip. You know what? She holds it up. Every pay-per-view is a backflip with Charlotte. So she's probably got one in her.
Yeah.
But I think we get a really, really competitive match, like a really, really competitive one. And I could see both of these women getting great entrances. I can see it just going really back and forth. To me, all right, so let me pose this question to you.
Right.
Charlotte Flair, is she the one? She's not faced Asuka before. Asuka's never faced her before. They haven't really built to this match. They've said that Charlotte has probably been the woman in the company for the last 2 years at this point. Asuka, has been undefeated at this point. It's a streak that's very, very, very solid. Like a streak that's just like, it's going to have to be broken eventually, but will it be here at WrestleMania? This is a stage to do it. Or would you be, if it did happen, would you be surprised? How would you think you would react if Charlotte broke the streak?
I think we'd all be surprised. That is something that I'm not preparing for. I don't think Charlotte's winning this match. I would definitely say wow on Twitter immediately. I think that with Charlotte, it would confuse a lot of people. And again, I always say like WrestleMania booking and the actual matches is always weird. Remember, people were pissed that AJ lost to Jericho, shit like that. Like, and it made sense. But remember that made sense in the bigger picture of his heel turn. You know, like that. He ended up being a better character after that loss. You know, but I don't think Charlotte is the one. I think that they have earmarked 2 matches for a specific person, Ronda Rousey, in the next couple of months to a year. I think one of those people is Charlotte, and I think one of those people is Asuka. And I think you want to have 2 streaks going into that, and I think you want to make it like a UFC event, and that's why I think Asuka's gonna win this match. But if again, this is another match, I'm not mad if it's either of them. I am not mad. If you remember, we always used to get upset that Charlotte would beat Sasha and Bayley, all the time. But at that point, we felt as though it wasn't merited. And at this point, I think Charlotte's put in the work. I think she's a wonderful ambassador. I think she's a wonderful champion. I think she's a wonderful wrestler. Listen, I'm with the energy. I'm with the smoke. If she fucking loses on Sunday and Asuka has to go out at WrestleMania, what a big way for that to happen. But in my heart of hearts, it's like Floyd Mayweather, man. You don't bet against Asuka, and Asuka's going to win this match.
I say Asuka's going to win, but I wouldn't be mad. Just the thought of that I'm 5%, and there's that 5% in my brain that's just like, what if Charlotte wins? What if they just say Charlotte? At the end of the day, it's still Charlotte. Or Vince is just like, why are we letting her still win? Like something but like something along those lines. But just keep it in the back of your brain. I know, but I think it's going to be an amazing match. Don't get me wrong. It's probably going to be one of the best matches on the card.
Yeah, it's going to be a sleeper too. No one's expecting it to. I think they're going to get a solid 15 minutes and they're going to fucking tear the house down on some like New Japan shit. Let's go into the special matches, like the special grudge matches and stuff like that. Away from the
special attractions,
the special attraction matches. Yes. Let's go with the first one. And I think this is the most interesting match on the card. Daniel Bryan and his return to the WWE and in-ring activity, and Shane McMahon, who is miraculously cleared.
100% health points. He is here. Diverticulitis, whatever. Anal bleeding, whatever.
What is that?
Hernia, what is that? Whatever, man. WrestleMania, here I am. Cancer, whatever.
Wow, don't say that.
He doesn't have cancer.
Yeah.
I would take it back.
Don't say that.
But you know what? I feel like he would still be pretty,
active.
Right, yeah, he would be pretty active nonetheless.
So it's those two versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and the stipulation is if Kevin and Sami Zayn win, they are reinstated into SmackDown Live. I mean, honestly, if I was those two, I would just get pinned because I don't want to go back to SmackDown Live. But who do you think is winning this match?
You know what? I've hated this feud for so long, so long. It's been a feud which I think they've been flying by the seat of their pants because they wasn't sure if Daniel Bryan is going to be cleared or not. I didn't like the blow off of the feud that Shane McMahon being right, because to be honest, the way he's been acting and just how unfair and sportsmanlike and unrefined as a authority figure he shouldn't be, especially for someone who isn't a heel. But I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wins, and I think they beat the shit out of Shane McMahon. And Daniel Bryan comes in for the save, but it isn't something that Daniel Bryan can continue to sort of. He's had the ring rust for a long time. He isn't able to maintain everything, and they managed to sneak away with a pin on Shane McMahon.
I think there's gonna be a swerve. I think it's gonna be a big swerve.
I saw the look in Shane's eyes. Did you?
Yeah, I saw it too. I don't know if it'll happen at Mania.
Maybe that's just his money look. I don't know.
Maybe
it's the drugs. Maybe it's the drugs.
Either person, they do not need to. They don't need to turn either of them, at all. Mm-hmm. They don't need to turn Brian. That'd be stupid. And they don't need to turn Shane, because that's just for what, there's got to be a way that they win this match. I just haven't thought of it yet. I literally cannot think of how they're going to lose this match, but I don't think they're going to win this match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going back. I don't think they're going to Raw.
Nah. I think they win, man. I think they win this match. And we start anew. And we start, something fresh, hopefully. But I could feel the swerve. I could feel the swerve.
There's some type of swerve happening, but I don't know
if it doesn't lead up to swerve, I'd be disappointed. But I've been disappointed in this entire feud from day one, so it doesn't really surprise me.
I just don't know who or what it could be. I don't know if it's going to be someone coming out and helping. I don't know if it could be Dolph Ziggler. It could be someone. I have no clue who the person is who's going to tip the scale in this match is going to be.
Oh, wait. The Miz.
The Miz?
The Miz. If you want to swerve, I'd say The Miz.
Well, he'd have to be losing the IC title, though.
He would lose the IC title if that came out, and this is just me just booking. He would lose the IC title. He would see Daniel Bryan maybe, gloating and having his moment, and he can't take it. He can't take his world crushing under him, and this guy that he's hated for so long come back, and that's when you start building that Miz Daniel Bryan sort of story. But this is just me, booking elsewhere in a weird land.
Yeah, so you think that Kevin Owens and Sami are going to win as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I really don't know how. You don't want to, I don't think it matters if Bryan loses his first
I don't
match.
think so either. Yeah, he's over, bro. He's over like Roper, maybe.
Doesn't matter.
And he's not going to take the pin. The guy with diverticulitis is going to. He's not going to take the pin. But you know what? This feud has been very underwhelming. I'm glad it's coming to a conclusion. Let's hope to God we never talk about it again.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's an interesting match. It's been a very interesting, to say the least, feud. And I honestly, even if that match is over with, I think it ends with Daniel Bryan not being the GM anymore. And returning to active superstar on SmackDown. So that's a win-win for everybody, even if this feud was awful. The second special attraction match, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. As much as people want to say, I don't think this is going to close the show. And I think it's going to actually be on a lot earlier than we think. I would say this comes on in like the 9 o'clock, 9:30 time period.
I took the A-Show poll. This week. I don't know if you saw this, and asked people what do they think is going to close the show. Let me just pull up the numbers right here.
Okay.
But it says an overwhelming 55% think Styles and Nakamura will close the show. So 55% of the people agree with you. 25% said Reigns and Lesnar. 11% said Cena and Undertaker. I actually don't have this match on the thing now that I look at it. I put Charlotte and Asuka. I would like to see Charlotte and Asuka close the show.
That ain't closing the show, baby. Awesome that people, that people agree with me. I love being right, of course. But
I don't mean you're right. That just means you're popular.
In terms of this match itself, I don't think it's a question of who's winning. I think we'll both agree with that. But how do you think Ronda's going to do?
All right. So here's my thing. If you had no offense to Kurt, you had a great tag team partner, you could hide a lot of shit that's going on in this match. Kurt Angle is also a shaky competitor that we have not really seen in long form action. We saw him at Survivor Series. He had that nice little thing where he got gurneyed out and then he came back and started angle slamming people. Or no, that was at TLC. And then at Survivor Series, he got double crossed by Triple H. So we haven't really seen Kurt Angle really go long form. To me, this match is full of shenanigans.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate.
I was going to say that.
This is just shenanigans, theatrics. Everything over the top is in this match. I think Ronda Rousey, I think Triple H is going to do something big with her. Like, she's got to do something big in this match. Like, it's got to be headlines in this match. That's what they're really looking for Ronda Rousey for this WrestleMania. They're looking for the headline. So I think that's what they're going to go with for this match. I think she'll do okay.
I think this is all a build, and people have to curb their expectations for this match. Yeah,
they really do.
I'm telling you this right now. She is not going to be Asuka. She's not going to be Io Shirai. She's not going to be anyone like that.
And it's against Stephanie McMahon, who is also not a wrestler. So it's like, it's not someone who can carry you through the match and sort of hide your flaws. This is someone who's, she's up in age as well. She's not an actual wrestler herself. She just plays one on TV. But, it's just everyone's got to sort of curb their expectations for this. No
yes,
doubt.
I think the build to this has always been the armbar. I want to see Stephanie get her ass toe off, or her arm tore off, so to speak. And I think that's going to be a huge moment. That's going to be definitely a hashtag WrestleMania moment. I'm excited for this match. I think she's going to do great. I'm excited to have her on the roster, and I think this is going to be the beginning of something really, really cool. And I think everyone should be excited for Ronda Rousey and the WWE. I think she's only going to get better. I just want to see the entrances. I want to see Kurt's entrance. I want to see Triple H and Stephanie's entrance. I think it's going to be fucking incredible.
I just hope Kurt Angle can wrestle really well.
He can. I don't think he can speak very well, but I have no question he can wrestle.
His brain be stroking out, man. He's just
wow, Meelz.
What? I'm just saying. Like, sometimes he just be saying stuff, and I'm like, yo, bro, what? All right. You know what? I've said too much.
It's way too much. The second, is this match even happening?
It is not confirmed. It is not confirmed by all accounts. It's maybe unsanctioned as well.
John Cena versus The Undertaker.
It may be a dream sequence match or some bullshit like that.
One of the weirdest matches. And I think, am I wrong, or are we wrong in predicting, or am I wrong in predicting that John Cena comes out, asks for The Undertaker to come out, and then he finally comes out, and they have like a little 10-minute match, and Undertaker wins, and then he leaves.
That's really it, man. I don't know what else to tell you. He's not hitting. He's not hitting a Yoshi Tonic on the Undertaker. I'll tell you that. I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be one for the books. A little right hand, a little left hand, a little choke slam, a little tombstone, a little FU. I kick out. Another tombstone, kick out. Third tombstone. All right, it's a wrap. Let's get this over with. And a good smattering of applause for John Cena.
Yeah, I have no clue what that's going to look like. It's hard to predict this match because we don't know. Just you know what? Just don't then. Just no clue what it's going to be.
Let's just let it happen. We'll all be witnesses, and then maybe we'll never talk about it again. Maybe we will. Who knows? Everyone wants Biker Taker. Everyone wants Biker Taker to come back. I'm like, all right, relax. I love Biker Taker too, but
I'd rather have very few Kid Rock matches, or not matches, Kid Rock appearances on the show.
Yes,
so, no, I'm not begging for that. I'm not begging for that. So yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I think Undertaker wins. John Cena don't care. John Cena don't care about winning matches anymore. He just wants to have them.
He just wants to have them. This man is clearly insane. He obviously doesn't care about losing any matches because he's lost all these matches over the past 2 months. He's been screaming about getting this old guy in the ring.
Do something.
Like, full actor mode. Let's just, I'm ready for whatever happens. I'll be excited for it. I'm just be honest.
Same here. Let's go to the main events. Let's start with I'm going to start with what I think is going to close the show, so I can jinx it into closing the show. So we'll talk about it first.
The WWE do that.
The WWE Championship match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. As we've been saying for the past couple of weeks, this match was set in stone. Like, we knew it was happening. We didn't need to be sold into this match. I think that goes without saying. This is an amazing match. I think this has the potential to be the best match in WrestleMania history. I'll go on a limb and say that this could be the greatest match in WrestleMania history. I think that they are set. AJ has wanted this match.
That is a long limb, my friend.
It's not. Is it really? It's not a long limb. There's like one. There's two.
There's been great matches in WrestleMania.
Okay, maybe fucking five.
Top five. Definitely top five.
I think this is going to be the best. I think it's going to be the best.
Taker, HBK, Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage. It has a potential. Listen, it has the potential.
I think it's going to be the best. I'm just going straight up. Just going straight up with that, straight up and down. It's going to be the best. And even though the build has
the entrances.
Oh, Absolutely, and just I was watching their New Japan match. New Japan World put it up for free on YouTube.
Why
and just
wouldn't
thinking,
they?
yeah, exactly. And just looking at the production value there and what the WWE has, it's going to go insane. And they're just ramping up the actual promotion for the match today. They had a really cool collage photo with Nakamura and AJ Styles, like a little photo, like a photo album of them talking about the match. And they actually have something called, I want to say it's called WWE Chronicle, where they talk about Nakamura in the first episode. So he's actually going to get a long form video about who he is and what he does, even though it should have aired.
And where is this again?
It's going to be on their YouTube, and it's going to be on their socials. It's airing tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm ready.
They dropped the trailer a couple of hours ago, but it's going to be really dope. And I think that, the actual match, no question, these are two of the top guys. And when Nakamura is motivated, he's no doubt one of the best wrestlers in the world. So I do have a controversial thought about the finish. I think Nakamura is going to lose. I think AJ is going to win. If they're closing the show, Nakamura is winning. If they're not, AJ is winning.
Okay, I could see that. I would probably follow the same route in thinking that as well. To me, they're both incredible. I think everyone's just wanted the match, and I think just the result of it has become sort of, has played second fiddle to it all. Just because anywhere it goes, it's going to be awesome. You get Shinsuke Nakamura, it's awesome. You get AJ Styles, it's awesome. AJ Styles has carried the brand for pretty much the last almost 2 years now. He's
other than that weird Jinder Mahal period, but yeah. He's
carried the brand for almost 2 years now, as being one of the stalwarts of the brand. Shinsuke Nakamura, new, fresh, exciting. He could be champion. Does it happen in WrestleMania?
I'm iffy on it. I'm going into it. I'm iffy on it.
I'm iffy. Because I made the call for SummerSlam, and then that didn't go through, and I was pretty angry at that.
We both did. I really thought that it would fucking happen.
But do they pass? I mean, the idea of passing on the coronation of Shinsuke Nakamura, it's just wild to me.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's something that needs to happen, and I think it needs to happen at WrestleMania. I think all eyes are watching. The entire world is watching, and while the U.S. is sort of the main territory for the WWE, just a worldly star winning this championship to me makes a whole lot. It does a lot for the world. It does a lot for outside markets. It does a lot just for people to see that you don't have to be the same skin color or anything to sort of win big on this stage. It does a lot. It does a lot. To me, I would want to see Shinsuke Nakamura win. Do I think he's going to win? You know what? Yeah, I think he's going to win. I think Shinsuke's going to win.
I think if AJ was, if he was campaigning for this so hard, I think that ideally that would be what he would want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It depends for me coming out of the show. Say what?
You think AJ's got stroke?
I mean, he campaigned for He said in an interview he campaigned for this match to happen ever since Nakamura got onto SmackDown, and he's been telling people. I believe he said he's been telling people that could make decisions and telling people that knew people that can make decisions, and he was told literally in December that it was going to happen before Nakamura won the Rumble. So if he's got enough to say that this match should happen and it happened, I think he's got enough to say that no matter what happens during this match, I need to win, or Nakamura needs to win, or whatever. But I think a lot of this also goes into who does he have to face coming out of this? And I think the one thing that we're missing here is that there aren't a lot of really top heels that Nakamura could face yet. So I think you have AJ win and then have them go to the next pay-per-view and face each other.
I think we could still have the rematch with the same result, and it'll be good. You know what? I'm fine with any. This is an amazing card, man. This is.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I think the only person I'd be mad who won on this card is if Brock Lesnar won. That's the only thing. That's the only person I'd be mad if they won.
I would agree. Yeah. You know what I had a thought? What if Chris Jericho shows up at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
You go from the Tokyo Dome to
WrestleMania, baby. Chris Jericho, baby. Two big cards. Who else has done it? I mean, there are people who've done it. AJ Styles did it.
AJ did it.
But I'm Chris Jericho, baby. Come on.
I don't know, but I don't think we have to go through Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I think we went through it for an hour in long form earlier this week. I think Roman's winning. I think we both think that they're going to win, or that he's going to win.
And go check the show if you haven't heard it yet. Go check the show. Trust me, it's a great listen. It's a great listen. Get it. You know what I recommend? Get it on the Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, before NXT Takeover, before everything starts, before the actual action gets going on. You can watch it after the Hall of Fame if you decide to watch the Hall of Fame. But just that Saturday morning when you're in that peak mode that you know wrestling is about to happen, and the good wrestling, and you just listen to it, it's a perfect time. You're going to get everything you want out of it, and you're going to be pumped for this main event. I'll tell you.
Right. I'm super pumped for this match. I am super excited that it's finally going to happen and that Roman finally gets his fourth coronation, but he finally gets to close the loop of the storyline that he has with Brock Lesnar.
Unless he doesn't.
Unless he doesn't. We have seen it go awry, but luckily there are no Money in the Bank holders this year that can stop him. And nothing is stopping WWE. They have such a huge weekend, so many things happening. If there is anything breaking that happens over the weekend, I will call Meelz and say we need to record right now.
I would make this match a no DQ match, just last second. Kind of like what they did with Austin Rock, just like out of nowhere, it's just like no disqualification. Everyone's just like, what is going on? What is happening?
Yikes.
Who knows?
Yikes. That would be fucking insane if that happened. But I mean, as far as WrestleMania and the WrestleMania weekend as a whole, I think it's better than last year's. Yeah. Already. I think it's better than the year before that. I think when you get to 30, that's when you start to see a little bit of competition. I think 30 was a really good card. 20 better than 29, better than 28, better than 27.
Oh yeah, better than a lot of those very mid. I was gonna say mid range, but I just meant mid. Very mid WrestleManias. We've had a good streak going. It hasn't been the best. Don't get me wrong. Not all the WrestleManias have been great, but we've had a solid streak of being pleased and entertained through this entire thing.
And I'm incredibly excited. I'm the most pumped for this weekend than I've ever been.
Will Dwayne show up this year?
No. He's doing Rampage promo. He's doing Rampage marketing and stuff like that. He's not.
That's never stopped The Rock, man.
Rampage literally comes out next week. So
that's never stopped then WrestleMania is going to be where he wants to be, for people to know that The Rock is here and making noise.
He wasn't doing any promo when he showed up last time.
He was. Where did he show up? He showed up last year, right? No, he didn't.
No, he showed up with the Rousey shit 3 years ago.
And he showed up the year after with a flamethrower. Remember that? And he faced
hosted. What are you talking about?
No, he faced Eric Rowan. He had a flamethrower. He had tearaway pants.
Oh yeah, he that happened twice, didn't it? It happened when he hosted it and happened that other time?
No, this is 32, right before Roman Reigns for
Oh, man, fuck. Fuck. Listen, no, he's not showing up. Ain't no room for that.
I dare him to show up.
Ain't no fucking room for him. We good over here. And he ain't fucking showing up. Go promote that trash ass movie.
For The Rock. I'm a mark for The Rock. If The Rock shows up instead of the Undertaker, I'm happy.
Oh wow! So it'd be 3 times in a lifetime.
3 times in a lifetime, baby.
But yes, that has been our WrestleMania weekend predictions. We will be back with another huge show for you guys next week. We will be running through the Takeover card, the WrestleMania card, Monday night after WrestleMania, and the Tuesday after Mania shows, as well as anything that pops up or happens in between on the A Show. Thank you guys for rolling with us on this road to WrestleMania. This is the most exciting time to be a wrestling fan. This is literally our Super Bowl, our NBA playoffs. This is our Christmas. We love this shit. I'm going to be locked into the WWE Network and to all other streaming services that will be showing independent wrestling this weekend. Shout out to everyone in New Orleans. Shout out to everyone listening to the show. And if you're a listener, bang this show in New Orleans. Turn it up loud. Have a great time and be safe out there and be safe anywhere you are.
If you're a listener in New Orleans, there is an exclusive Finn Balor shirt. I don't even care what it is. I need it. I need it in my life. I need it.
You should get the Balor Club is for everyone shirt. I cop that.
I'll get that. I want to see what they have.
Wow. Yes. Also, so it's not equality with you.
What do you mean? No, I'm just saying. Like, I want to see what else is there. I just paid. Shout out to Rescue Dogs. I just,
it's not all about equality, bro. You don't want to contribute to GLAAD.
I just donated to Rescue Dogs, man. Obviously, I care, but I don't know if I don't know if I want to. I just want to. I just want to see. I just want the WrestleMania shirt. Why are you doing this to me? I just want that shirt. Why do you do this to me?
I'm just trying to see what you was about to say, but okay, sure. We're gonna
WrestleMania shirt. Isn't that okay?
We're gonna leave it at that before Meelz says something that gets himself in this show into real big trouble.
I hate
you. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back this week. Not this week. After this week, we'll be back next week. We should do an after Mania show. You ain't doing shit.
Let's see what time Mania ends, man. I'm gonna be tired, man. This is 7 hours of wrestling, baby.
It's my birthday the next day. My birthday is the next Monday. My birthday is next Monday.
Listen, that's amazing. I'm off that, because I was smart enough to take off the WrestleMania day after WrestleMania. I know what time it is.
So maybe we should do that. I'll just let you think because you have your day off. But if we have a show coming up, we will definitely let you guys know. And thank you guys for listening to the show. And we will be back and we will all be watching. You can follow us on Twitter at OGJohnny5 and at Meelz TV. That's MEELZ TV, where we will be live tweeting for sure NXT TakeOver and WrestleMania from the presence of our own homes.
Yes. In the warmth of my own home. Even though it'll be freezing outside because it's fucking spring and it's 40 degrees, but whatever.
Anyway, see you guys later. For the A Show. For the A Show, this is Justin from Meelz. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Reset day.